So good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining. Hopefully you can see me very well. So good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining. Okay, so yep, let's make it start now. Okay, so good evening. Thanks everyone for joining us this evening to the first Pass the Baton for the year 2022. We're starting with finances. We did do our topics last year, and I think this is one that a lot of people, chose and said, they would like more about it. So we're having a financial series, I think up to the month of May. And please do feel free, if you're being blessed, share the link to somebody else and let somebody else, get blessed like you as well. So I'm going to share on a little bit about Pass the Baton, especially for our first timers. I know lots of people here that join us every month, but especially for first timers, you're wondering what is Pass the Baton, just a little snippet about what it's all about, and then we can kickstart. So yeah, feel free, shout out to everyone, shout out to somebody, say Happy New Year to somebody. It's a place where, we all gather to unwind together every month. So I'm just going to share my screen quickly. Bumia with the conveyor of Pass the Baton. Pass the Baton is an online platform where ladies or women come together to rub minds, to empower, to enlighten, and to pray on various issues that affect our everyday life as ladies, mothers, and wives. The Lord showed me in a vision that a lot of women are taking their batons back to the grave. What are batons? Batons are the gifts that God has given you, the experiences of life that you need to tell the next generation. You become vulnerable so that they don't have to go through what you have gone through. You experience so that somebody else does not have to go through the same. And we come together to just learn from each other. We collaborate.
So the area of disciplining. So I see discipline as rules balanced with relationship. And that's why I text messages or just from other websites, could see malicious content introduced.
And what was happening to me, I didn't even think what he was doing was wrong. Do you understand? As a child, I didn't know that, we were not told.
You won't treat you otherwise. Take care of yourself, women. I've seen women die. I've seen women die because of stress. I work in HR, so I hear a lot of stories about stress and how people would say to me, in this season,
I might make them do little. So don't break their spirits. Don't say words that will put the child down, because you will break their spirit.
Just to describe intimacy, close familiarity of friendship. It's a shared deep understanding. And somebody says it's like into me, you see, that's intimacy.
Hi, welcome to Pass the Baton. I thought I'd come on here just to share with you the reason why I decided to be a member of Pass the Baton, and I continue to be a member of Pass the Baton, because it's one thing to be a member and it's another thing to continue to be a member based on how effective a thing is. And the reason why is because life is a time to learn. It's a time to develop yourself, because we don't know it all. And the best people you can learn from are people that have gone ahead of us, people that have experiences that can share best practices with us to help develop us and to level us up, really. So, and Pass the Baton offers that opportunity. You can ask questions to develop one another and share best practices, which is good and beautiful. And the reason why I've decided to continue really is because some of the topics on there are not usually discussed within the church walls, and these are topics like marriage, sex, cyber security, parenting. They're not discussed in depth enough, and it's just nice to be able to do so on here. And also these are done virtually, so why not, in a relaxed environment? Yes.
The Baton, what a blessing to be part of it. And there's so many things that I would like to talk about that I've really experienced. and it I've been blessed with since I started coming. And but the one that really caught my attention most, that I'm really blessed with, is the couples special edition. I know many people don't like to talk about sex beyond honeymoon, but it was another side to me, an eye opener, and I really enjoyed that session. It was very interactive, and it boosts my my sex life. I really put so many things into practice, and well, I will leave the rest to your imagination. But yeah, thank you. I'm really enjoying the time, the fellowship that we have together, and I think it's the best platform as it is right now for women, young and old, for us to learn more about how to look after ourselves, how to build our home, how to enjoy this lovely journey called marriage, and it's a great opportunity.
So I'll just stop there quickly. And yes, so again, thank you everyone. A few people are in now. So that's just a snippet of what Pass the Baton is. We normally meet every last Friday of the month. And yeah, we just come together, we discuss, we become vulnerable so that somebody else who has gone through the issues that somebody else would go through does not need to go through that. We take away all the stigma, should I say, of I don't want anyone, quote and unquote, to hear what I've gone through. So that's what this platform is for. And it's about 2 years now. We actually started just before COVID, even though we didn't know that COVID was going to come. So yes, I'm grateful for everyone that has been a part of the journey. And yeah, to our speaker tonight, I just want to say this before I go on, that, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Somebody else is watching. And don't look at your journey as too small. There's nothing too small. Just start. Like Nike would say, just do it. Keep starting, keep doing it, keep pushing, and somebody else is looking. I've never seen Ronke before, but I follow her on Instagram, and I know as Auntie Angela, and some people that follow her will probably know as Auntie Angela, the other side of her. So yes, we're not saying Auntie Angela tonight, don't worry. But yes, I follow her. Like I said to my friend this evening, a lot of people know about financial, security. A lot of people understand it. Some people don't, but a lot of people do. But it's good to just get a reminder. And why not get a reminder by following her? Just look for her name on Instagram, follow her. She gives tips every week on the do's and the don'ts and the things that, you continue to do, so that would help you and that would improve your financial life. And she also has a YouTube page. I'm not selling her. No, she hasn't told me to do that. But I feel that it's good to get a reminder. It's good to get a glimpse, for what other people are doing, their expertise in their area. So all we have to do is just, keep following them and keep listening to what they have told us to do, so that we can get better at what we do. So I'm just going to give us a quick overview about her quickly. So Ronke is a personal finance expert and the creator of the Bulletproof Life program. She has helped many people turn their lives around positively simply by teaching them to adapt the Bulletproof Life, which is about taking continuous, actionable steps to achieve financial freedom. And the key word there is continuous, career progression and business growth while living an intentional life. Keynote: intentional. Ronke shares our Bulletproof Life knowledge through our YouTube channel and social media accounts. She is a chartered accountant, ACMA, CGMA, whatever that means, but I think that means that she has done well, and management consultant with about 16 years of experience. Ronke in her daily job has led and delivered finance and program management solutions for blue chip companies in Europe, Africa, and Asia. She is a published author, serial entrepreneur, mom of 2 girls, married to an amazing man. And like I said, you can connect with her on our YouTube page, Ronke Odewumi, Instagram, Ronke Odewumi, Twitter, same thing, our website, ronkeodewumi.com, and our email address as well, ronkeodewumi@gmail.com. And tonight, we're so happy to have you. We're actually very excited to have you. And we want to say thank you as well, for coming on board. You could have said you're busy. And also, thank you for giving us a discount as well. I really appreciate you. And yes, you can fire on. Thank you so much. And thanks for everyone as well for joining.
Hi, everyone. I'm really delighted to be here today. I'm always delighted to be in the company of ladies, sharing financial knowledge. And the reason why I'm particularly delighted to be in the company of ladies is because society, in a lot of ways, has given us the impression that we are not good with money, has given us the impression that big money ideas belong to men. And so anytime I get an opportunity to talk to women about money, it always excites me and makes me particularly happy. So today we are going to be talking about sorting your finances. And January is the perfect time to get into that place, to get back into the driver's seat of your money and sorting your finances. What do I mean by sorting your finances? I just mean that your money is in a place where you are not afraid. You're in a place where you are not financially worried, where you are not constantly making decisions based on just money, where you know where you will be tomorrow financially by God's grace, where you, if you think about your old age, your heart is not dropping into the bottom of your shoes. So that is what I mean by sorting your finances. It means that you're not living hand to mouth. It means that you're not living in debt. It means that you're not overwhelmed by debt. This is what it means to sort out your finances. It means that you are in the driver's seat of your money. And that is what I'm here to talk to you about. Now, I'm not going to be telling you things that you haven't heard before. What I'm going to be doing is helping you have a mindset shift. Money is a mindset. How you deal with money is a mindset. You're either going to be in control of your money or your money is going to be in control of you. It's a little bit like what they say about fire. Fire is good. You cannot control it or it can control you. And for in a lot of ways, it applies to money as well. If you are not in charge of your money, somebody is in charge of it. It's just not you. Somebody is definitely in charge of your money. And you have to bear in mind that you're the one working for the money. Like my mom likes to say, money inside cold. This is money you are making inside cold weather. And you need that money to work hard for you. So we're going to sort our finances. Now, the first thing to do when you want to sort your finances is that you need to know your incoming and your outgoing. You need to know what is coming into your pocket every month. You need to know what is coming in, whether it's weekly, whether it's monthly, whether it's bi-weekly. You need to know. You cannot be somebody who says, I don't know how much I earn. I don't know how much I spend. Because if you don't know how much you earn, you won't know when you're broke. You won't know when you're about to purchase something, whether you can afford it. And a lot of us see affordability. We measure affordability based on other people. If that person can afford it, then I can afford it too. If that person that earns 2005 like me can buy a brand new Kia, then I can also buy the same car. If somebody who earns my money can put their children in private school, then I can also do that. And you start running helter-skelter, trying to stretch yourself because you don't know your own affordability level. So the first thing you need to do to sort your money is to know your own affordability level. What can you afford? And the way to know it is for you to know what comes in and what goes out. So take a seat, take a pen, take a piece of paper, and sit down and look at what has come into your account as income in the last 6 months. Divide it by 6. That is the average of your income. The assumption here is that you have had the same level of income in the last 6 months. If you have not worked for the whole 6 months, if you just started working 3 months ago, then you're dividing by 3, you're taking 3 months pay. So you need to have an idea of how much you earn, even if it's not in exact numbers down to the penny. You need to have a good idea, close, rounded up to about 5 or 10 pounds, how much you earn every month, every week, or every bi-weekly, whatever your frequency is. Once you know how much you earn, you also now need to know how much is going out of your account. What do you spend? How much is your rent? How much is your mortgage? How much do you spend on fuel? Go back into your account, into your card, and calculate it. If you're somebody who spends cash a lot, try and keep track in the next few weeks how much you are spending. It's a good thing that today is payday Friday. So a lot of us go pay today. So it's a good time for you to start with January pay. It's a clean sheet, and then you can start and you can track your spending. So the first thing you need to be doing to sort your finances, which is something I always say a lot on my YouTube channel, is that you need to track your spending. You need to know what comes in. You need to know what goes out. Now, you can track your spending on an Excel sheet, or you can track it with an app, or you can track it with something like this book that I'm holding up, a budget and saving book. I created this one because a lot of my students, my coaching students have complained about struggling with tracking money. So I've created this one, which is it's what's called lines for you, and it has expectations, and it allows you to write your budget categories, your monthly budget for each thing, and so on. You don't have to buy my book. It's on Amazon, or you don't have to buy it. You can use an Excel sheet. What I don't want you to do is to do your budget on a piece of paper, crumple it up in your handbag, and that's it. No, you need to be able to compare last month with 3 months ago, with 4 months ago. If you tell me to produce my budget that I used in 2008, I will produce it for you. I know exactly how I spent the salary I earned in 2008. It also allows you to see your progression along the way. It allows you to check yourself. There was a time that in my budget, I didn't know what was happening, but I was spending about 300, 400 pounds on living. Living means coffee, chocolate, buying gifts for people, hanging out, eating out, doing all of those things. And I found that every month I was spending 300, then it increased to 400, it increased to 500, it increased to 600. Now, if I wasn't budgeting, I wouldn't know that was happening to me. I won't notice. I'll just say, I don't know where my money is going. I don't know where my money is going. So that is one thing that keeping track of your money does for you. Let me move on from that. Sorting your finances. You need to have financial goals. Sorting your finances is something that requires motivation. For you to be motivated, you need a destination. If you don't have anything to save for, anything to work towards, you're not motivated. The day you decide or you feel like spending all of the money, you will spend it. You will YOLO, because there is no reason, there is nothing motivating you, pushing you to do anything. There's a difference between somebody who is trying to get promoted at work and somebody who is just doing their day-to-day job. There's a difference, because the person that's trying to get promoted has a motivation, and that's the same way it applies to your money. The second thing you need to do for me this year is to set financial goals. You need to set those goals. You need to write out 3, 4, 5 things you want to do. I want to budget every month from now till December. It's a financial goal. I want to save 200 pounds, 500 pounds. Put an amount. Don't just say I want to save, because 10 pounds is saving. Those scam yourself. Put it there. I want to save 500 pounds every month. I want to save 350. I want to save 250. It doesn't matter how much you save in terms of the overall. What matters is the consistency. When I teach people to invest, I tell them, don't come to me with 10,000 pounds to invest and then disappear for a whole year and then come back after 1 year and say, okay, I have another 10,000 pounds. No, that's not how to invest. I want you to show up every month with 500 pounds. I want you to show up every month with 1,000 pounds and tell me I want to invest again, or every other month. That way, you're taking advantage of movements in the market. So that is the same way I want you to save. Consistency. Everything we do in life, consistency wins more than anything else. Consistency wins. I was reading a research recently about children that excel and about how Asian children excel. And we all know that Asian children excel when it comes to academics. And they did research and found that they're not more clever. They don't have a higher IQ than other children. What they do excessively is practice, consistent practice. They practice everything like their life depends on it. And that extends into things like instruments, music, languages. If you practice anything, you will get better. If you go to my channel and watch my first YouTube video, it is really cringeworthy. It's really cringeworthy. If Oluwa Yaniwura is on this Zoom call, God will forgive you, Ife, for telling me that video was good. But Ife is one of my friends, and she went on about, oh, you are doing great. You are wonderful. The video is terrible. It is terrible. But I did it, and then I continued doing it, and I maintained that consistency. And the more consistent I got, the better I got. So you have to be consistent with your saving plans. You have to be consistent with your budgeting. Your first month of budgeting might be a little bit awkward. You might do it, and it doesn't balance. It's not looking good. As you do it, you get better. You become more aware of your money. It becomes easier. Then the day is looking odd. You pick up on it and be like, last month I spent 50 pounds on fuel. This month why am I spending 80 pounds? Where did I go? What happened? Something's wrong with my car. You've picked up that your car is guzzling fuel. If you are using a car insurance, you have car insurance, and last year they charged you 510 pounds or 410 pounds because you have a budget. This year when they come with 700, no, that's not happening. No, and then you're going to go and look for a better deal. But if you don't keep track of it and you don't know, you won't know. You just accept it and be talking about tax, deals in this country. Bills, let bills not kill us. Bills will not kill us in Jesus' name. We will rise. In all things, we rise, we move. It's because you are not keeping track. You don't know what is happening. You're not in charge. So you need to set financial goals around budgeting, around saving, around paying off debt. I don't believe in people going to invest if you have high interest debt. If you have any debt that has interest over 7%, in my opinion, is a high interest debt, because investments, stock markets, property, all of those things yield between 5 and 10% on the average. 7 is closer to it. So if you have a debt that's more than 7%, your debt is costing you more than your investment is going to give you. So it's more important, or it's better for you to pay off debt. So please add that to your goal. Prioritize paying off debt, prioritize investing, prioritize increasing your income if you feel like your income is low and is stopping you from sorting your finances, because there's only so much you can save from a low income. It gets my goat when people say things like, oh, you can save 10,000 pounds, you can save 10,000 pounds, but from how much? From how much? You need to consider how much each person is earning. The fact that you find it easy saving 10,000 pounds in 3 months does not mean that other people find it easy. For some people, 2,000 pounds saving a year is a solid achievement, and it's a good achievement, and it's about consistency. And that is what I want you to think about imbibing. And we're living in a country as well where consistency pays off. Consistency is rewarded. That is the reason why if somebody who is in the medical profession tries to get a mortgage, 90% of the time they get it. The reason is not because they are the highest income earners. That's a lie. That's a big lie. Medical professionals are not the highest income earners. It's because their income is consistent. It's because they are not threatened by movements in the job market, because no matter how the job market moves, we will always need healthcare professionals. So it is that consistency that is being rewarded, not how much they have. So investing, saving, and financial wealth, we always reward consistency. So I need you to bear that in mind as you sort your finances. The third thing I want you to do in sorting your finances is to shift your mindset. When I was growing up, my dad would say, money is a spirit. And that means it's not a spirit in the malevolent, good or bad way. It's a spirit in the sense that you can attract it. You can treat it well. You can be good with it. You can become a slave to money. At the same time, you can use money to change your life, to change the life of others. It's like a genie in the bottle. And the same way you can use money to change the life of others, you can allow it to ruin you if you don't change your mindset. So you need to have the right mindset with money. That means that you must learn not to compare your life with others. Comparison is the thief of joy. A lot of people go into debt because they are comparing. So because they are comparing, they are trying to meet up. Some also go into financial issues because they have toxic friends, and their friends will throw jibes at them. So with all the work you're doing, you can't even afford designer. You're still wearing H&M now. Wow. This your bag is nice. Is it Primark? That friend is a toxic friend. And by being toxic, they're putting you under pressure and forcing you to make more you shouldn't be making. But if you change your mindset and you are aware of the fact that their opinions don't count, and you have a destination and a goal, which is where your financial goal comes in. No matter what your friends say, if you have a financial goal, you have a plan, you have somewhere you're going, you have a saving plan, an investment plan, even if it's a holiday plan. If you plan to go on a particular holiday, you're saving up for it. Don't go on holiday on debt and put a holiday on your credit card.
Is it me, or can anyone still hear you, Ronke, please?
She's frozen, I think.
Yeah, I think she is frozen. Okay, so while we're waiting for her, anyone wants to shed light on any of the things that she has said? Maybe you've gone through one of the things she said before she comes back on. For me, I've heard, the toxic friend part, not to me, but I've heard people say it to people. And when I hear it, I'm like, really? So for me, I would say, don't let anyone, talk you down. Don't let anyone put you down or put your mind down. It's all about mindsets, like she said. So if you have people around you like that, you want to really, really say no to them. I think someone did.
She's back. She's back.
She is back. Okay. I'm yet to see her.
Yeah, I'm just asking her to unmute.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sure what happened to my system. It just went off by itself. I think it's had a hard week.
She's muted herself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I was saying earlier that it's about mindset. You need to have the right mindset. You need to surround yourself with the right people. And if you have toxic friends, if you have friends who are motivating you to spend money you don't have, or you have friends who are putting you under pressure, a whole doctor, you're still driving the same car. After all your shifts, you need to learn to pick up those kind of things and let them go. And I've seen this happen to people. I've seen it happen to people with mindset. Also, some people have this mindset of I need to show everybody that I'm doing well, even when you're not doing well. I need to show everybody I'm successful, even when you're not there yet. I need to impress. I need people who think I'm not there to know that I'm there. I need to step on their necks. And social media doesn't help. This desire to step on their necks. Social media doesn't help. It's pushing you out there. You're looking at some people and you want to be like them. You want to do better than them. There's an element of pride in it as well, which you need to manage as a person. You need to step beyond it. I've been to meet some people before for lunch, and another lady came to meet us, and we had lunch. And after I left, she said to the ladies that I had lunch with, that I thought you said she's a senior person at that big consulting firm. They said yes. They said she was wearing Adidas trainers, no designer, nothing. It's a little bit disappointing. Now, this kind of person said that about me. I'm somebody she doesn't know. Can you try and imagine the kind of things she will say to her own friends? So that kind of person is putting people under pressure. She gauges people on what they have, and she personally will assume that people will gauge her like that. So she herself will show up spending more than she has, moving more than she has, spending credit card as if she will never pay it back. And those kind of things, they don't help you sort your finances. So I want you to have the mindset that you have a financial destination, you have a financial goal. The attention around you is noise and it's not your business. You're going to focus on your goals. You're going to pay off your debt. You're going to save. You're going to have an emergency fund, which is the money that you put aside for emergencies that are not pre-planned. Your boiler packs up and insurance is not covering it because it's more than 15 years old. Your car decides to do crack and you have to go and cover it somehow. Those kind of emergencies, you need to have a little money aside so that you don't resort to credit cards. So those are the things I want you to do. Now, the other thing I want you to do is to sort your finances, is to take action. You need to not just have financial goals and have a mindset. You need to then take action. Your goals should lead to actions. So now that you have a financial goal to save, how much are you going to save monthly? When are you going to save? You're going to save the day money comes in. Please don't wait to save after you have spent. I've been there. That's saving your leftover thing. You will never save enough because there's never anything left over. Because that's when people will come, somebody will borrow money from you, they invite you to a brunch that you really can't afford. But because there's money sitting in your account, who said you can't afford it? You can afford it, then you will do it. So the day you need to save is today. Today, Friday, that the money has come in today. You need to sort it out. You need to save this month. You need to do your budget. Write down your essentials, everything you can think of that you want to do this month that is essential to you, that needs to be done. Then you carve out something for savings, and then you take that money out of your current account and go and put it in a savings spot where you can't easily touch it. That could be a fixed deposit, that could be a premium bond account, that could be an investment account. You take that money away and put it somewhere else. You can have a savings account that is not online. That's another gimmick that people do. You open an account and then you don't join the online app or anything. If you want to withdraw from that account, it needs to be like a card, and then you go and put the card in an envelope somewhere and seal it and hide it in your wardrobe so that it's not a card you're carrying in your wallet. So you can't take your card to spend your savings at Nando's or TGI Friday or anything. Sometimes I give you examples of things that apply to me. So I'm a foodie. So I'm the kind of person that can spend savings at Nando's. That's why I said, don't take your savings cards to Nando's so that you don't spend it there. So those are the things you want to do to take action. You want to actively pay off debt. So paying off debt is not by paying £5 on your credit card. I've seen people tell me, oh, I'm paying my debt and I'm paying £5 every month because they said I can. No, you're not paying off your debt. If your debt is 10,000 pounds or 5,000 pounds, divide that amount by 5 years or 4 years or 2 years and see how much you want to pay off. That will not hurt you considerably, but you will feel it. If you don't feel it, you're not planning to pay it off. You need to feel it. You will feel it in the first 2 months, and after that, your body will relax. It will go back into the level that you should go to. You will become humble again, and you will maintain yourself, and then you will pay off that debt. Now, the last thing I want to say to sort out your finances, and I mentioned it briefly before, is for you to earn more. I know I say you should save, I say you should invest. But if your income is already just enough to cover your needs, then it's time for you to earn more. And you can earn more by changing jobs. You can put your CV out there, go on LinkedIn, talk to recruiters, change jobs. We all suffer from the fear of the unknown. Anytime I want to change jobs, what I worry about is not my ability to do the new job. It's the fact that I'm going to go into a new environment. I'm going to meet new people. I'm going to have to get to know new people. Or when I do the job I'm doing now, I already know it like the back of my hand. So there's a bit of laziness going on. That applies to all of us, but you must step out of the comfort zone. Your comfort zone is a dark, smelly place. It's not a place that brings you wealth. You are comfortable there. You can't smell it anymore. You know how it is when people don't shower and then they don't shower for like a few days. They can smell themselves. Then after like a week, they will stop smelling themselves. And the only people that will smell them are the people that are passing by. And there's a name for that thing where your nose just stops picking up your smell. And it's the same thing when you're in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone had light. The sun has moved away from your comfort zone. And because it's in a circle, so it's a cycle, the sun has moved away from your comfort zone. And your comfort zone is now a dark place. It's a dark, smelly, wet place. But you have crouched in that comfort zone for so long, you can no longer smell how dank and creepy it is. There is the sun just waiting for you out there. You need to just move out of that comfort zone a little bit and get into the sunshine. So try and change jobs if you feel like the current job is not paying enough. You can also try and get promoted. You can make a case for getting promoted at work by proving to them that you are performing. If they say you're not doing well enough, ask them what are the gaps. What do I need to get promoted? Closed mouths don't get fed. Nobody gets promoted on a chance. Nobody gets promoted on, somebody was just passing by and then they looked at you and go, let's promote that person. Not even if you're black. Sorry. You need to speak up. You need to ask. You need to go to a performance manager and tell them, excuse me, sir, I've done so well this year. I think I need to get promoted. Can I write a business case? Can I write 5 lines to show you why I should get promoted? Ask them. They might tell you it won't happen this year. They should give you a timeline. Should I work towards the next performance review? Will it be in 1 year? Will it be in 6 months? What do I need to do? What are the gaps? Who do I need to talk to? You can get promoted at your current job. And if you can't get promoted, exit. Find a new job. The other thing you can do is to diversify. Do more. This particularly applies to entrepreneurs. If you are doing something, look for sister opportunities around what you are doing. I'm a financial coach and I teach people about money. While teaching people about money, I realized that all of my mentees had 1 or 2 problems. And it was one, they struggled to budget, and that led me to this book to create a sister product. Secondly, a lot of people struggle with productivity. When I talk to my clients, my mentees, it's always about productivity, how I want to increase my productivity. And I said, I have a secret weapon. I'm going to share it with you. That led to this product. That's the Bulletproof Life Planner. And as you can see, I put my money where my mouth is. I use it. Can you see? I use it every single day. It's on my desk. My husband's favorite phrase is, can you squeeze us into your to-do list tomorrow? I want you to help me do something. Can you squeeze us into your to-do list in 2 days' time? I want you to help me, because he knows that if it's not on that to-do list, it's not happening. And everything goes on the to-do. If I need to call my mom, sometimes he has to go on that to-do list. Otherwise, I won't remember my own mother till 10 p.m. at night. And I don't want to call her at 10 p.m. because she would think there's something wrong. So I have to call her during the day. So it goes on my to-do list. So look for products that relate to what you are already selling. If you are somebody who makes hair, then you need to make your own hair products. If you know what is the pain point of your client, then you need to make products that align with that pain point. If you are a caterer and you sell food, you need to look for what other product aligns with the food that you are selling. If it's just that people order from you, can you do takeaways? Can you join Just Eat? Can you offer something else? Can you offer a snack? You need to look for a sister product. Diversify your business so that your income source becomes multiplied. The other thing you can do to increase your earning power is to find a side also. That means something that's not even related to what you're doing right now. Is that something that you like or something that you think you can do because you've read about it, you've done your research, and it sounds interesting? Why not? A lot of people who succeed at businesses don't succeed on the first try. They try different businesses and one of them clicks at the end of the day. Also, success is relative. The fact that you haven't become a millionaire from a business does not mean it's not successful. If that business is feeding you, making life easier for you, buying you a holiday here and there, buying you a bag or a pair of shoes, stopping you from going into debt because you're now not spending your income on those nice things. If you're someone that likes nice things like me, you are already able to buy those nice things from your side also. And so that allows you to save your own money or to use your own money for other things. That's also a good thing. So you need to think about earning more. There are so many side hustle ideas. I've made videos about them. I've made Instagram reels about it. I've talked about drop shipping. I've talked about Amazon FBA idea, for Amazon fulfillment. You can do that as well. You can sell on eBay. You can produce things and sell yourself. If you're someone that's creative with your hands, you can go into affiliate marketing. I find that one a little bit hard, even though people talk about it a lot. I don't think it returns a lot of money very quickly. So, but it's worth going into if you want to. There is publishing as well. You can publish books on Amazon and push them and sell them if you're somebody who has that kind of platform, and you can push products as well. For me, I have so many different sides of hustles. The money just trickles in bits and pieces. £10 here, £20 here, £50 here, £40 here. I'm not somebody who I can tell you, all my side hustles give me 500 every day, 700 every day. I'll be lying. My day job is what still gives me my main income. But you see those side hustles, they put extra money in my pocket. They are the reason that I'll just wake up one day and be like, guys, get in the car. I'm taking you guys to lunch. I'll be like, somebody else paid you. Let's go. It's because there is a side hustle that I'm doing. So those are the things you can do to sort your finances. I think I should pause so that you guys can ask questions and I can address them. Bumi, what do you think?
Yes, I think so. And also, if anyone has comments that they would like to share, I think I've seen a comment from Ronke where she said, for the credit cards, you can cut them up. And I think this is where we become vulnerable. That was what I did. I didn't even cut them up. I just called the bank and I said, stop it. Until I cleared it, don't open it again. And that was how I cleared, my credit cards. Don't open it again so that you don't have to pay it a little bit, then go back again and use it. So that was what I did. And I like the fact also that you mentioned, diversify. So look for products aligned to your products and services. So true. Yes, I've seen that, happen a lot for a lot of people. I'm just trying to read comments. So someone says, how do people balance this with the faith life? Because I've heard people say you have to faith it till you make it, or give big to get back. Okay, that is the motivational lifestyle talking there. So so how do people balance this with the faith life? Because I've heard people say you have to faith it till you make it, or give big to get back. I have an answer to that, but I'll let, maybe if anyone has an answer to that before Ronke answers that question. How do people balance this with the faith life? Because I've heard people say you have to faith it till you make it, or give big to get back.
Just raise your hand if you want to make a comment that we can find you.
What's happening now, you people? How do people balance this with the faith life? I mean, I believe that, number one, first and foremost, I'm a faith person. I always say this, there's nothing I do, that I wouldn't say or talk about God. I believe in him so much. He's the reason why we exist. And I also believe that as a child of God, he's the CEO. Whatever you're doing, whether you're in business, whether you're in career, he's the CEO of your life. I mean, come on, look at his CV, and you need to know that. But I also believe in, action. I don't believe in faith it till you make it. I don't believe in it personally. I believe in be real to yourself. And I think that's one of the things that Ronke said. You can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. The first thing about this is you need to have this, how do I call it? There's a baseline, where am I right now? You need to identify where you have been doing this income and expenditure. I think I can also tell you 4 years ago what I paid. And like I said, some of these things we know it, but it's the doing. It's in the doing. And I think okay, Pastor Maureen, please. Thank you. If you can just unmute her. I think you're muted, Ma.
Okay, thank you very much. And I just want to say thank you to the speaker. You really said a lot of things that resonated with me. And I think one of the key things that I'm going to take away that I've actually shared with my son. So this, we call it long vac in Nigeria, isn't it? This the holiday period. He said he wanted a job. So I sat him and I said, why do you want a job? He said, oh, I want some independence. I want to. So I realized that, you know what, he needed some education on finances. And so I sat in, I said, you see, this attitude that you have about, I want independence, I want freedom, you'll be chasing money all your life. Because part of the reason is I want a little bit of money so I can do what I like without knowing that you have to be responsible with money and how you spend it, you know? So, and I'm so happy that you've reiterated it even as you're talking. So I just want to really say I'm grateful that, you know, Bumi has put this together, and it's definitely something that, you know, I'm going to also share with other people so that they can be blessed. I think the other thing I just wanted to quickly say is I've never really heard people say faith it until you make it, because normally I hear fake it till you make it. But I'm just wondering how, you know, we can say faith it, because faith is the evidence of things not seen, you know. And I think sometimes as Christians, we really get ourselves muddled up because we think that maybe faith is not real. But faith is really supposed to be more real than the things that we see with our eyes. And what I say to people is faith is based on the word of God. And sometimes people think that faith is positive thinking. It is not. Faith is, I am taking God at his word. So what is it that God has told you? That's faith stands on the word of God. Faith stands on the things that we believe God has told us. And, you know, so for Abraham to leave his father and mother is because God told him, I'm going to show you a place. So, you know, I really don't understand how people can say, you know, faith is to you. I think that's really wrong. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think so as well, because I feel that people are just saying, you know, you are faithing, but what about the doing part of it? And that's, for me, that's where the balance is. You know, God has told you something. He's told you something, but you have to work towards it. Like God said to Abraham to move. God, you know, he didn't say, oh, because God said I should move, I will just have faith and stay here. You know, God can just move me. He can just move me to, he had to still do something. He had to make decisions that he had to make in order for him to move to where God was telling him to. In fact, he had to leave relationships as well in order to get to, you know, where God told him to. Okay, so that's that one. And thank you so much.
Can
Ronke,
I just
someone
add to
says,
that? Can I add to that very quickly?
oh, yes, please.
Yeah. So I have two responses. The first one is about giving big to get big. I've actually had that, you know, many years ago. Somebody said it to me and said, give your whole salary, let it hurt, empty your account and watch God come through for you. And when we do that, we are putting God in a transactional relationship. Give me, I give you. And then we are bringing God to your level. Give me 5, I give you 10. When the Bible said, give, it will come back to you, good measures, shaking together. They did not say give, and it will come back to you exactly as you give. So if you give, and you give with a clean heart, with a heart of faith, with a heart of righteousness, it might come back to you as good health. It might come back to you as wealth. It might come back to you as peace of mind. It might come back to you as that thing when you are walking in the dark and just before you fall in the ditch, a light comes on. So when the Bible says it's going to come back to you, nobody promised you money back. So you can't put God in a transactional corner. So that's the one about giving big for you to come back big. The second one, the second response I have around faith is, I'm a faith student. I'm big on faith. My favorite Bible chapter in the New Testament remains Hebrews 11. I love that whole chapter. And, you know, faith is the assurance of things hoped for. It's an assurance that what you hope for will come to you if you do what you need to do. So faith is what allows you to apply for grants with 10,000 people that you qualify for, that you will stand out of those 10,000. After you've qualified for it, but so do they. Everybody qualifies for it, but then you go and apply, and then you apply faith, because it is the assurance of things hoped for. Faith is when you have an interview for a job, and you prepare for that interview, for that job, that you have the skill set required, and then you go and interview to the best of your ability, and you hope, you have assurance in that, in God to give you opportunity there. It's not by faking it, because faking it till you make it is simply trickery. And God is not out to support trickery. He's not out for you to trick anybody into anything. So you can't fake it till you make it. You have to put in the work. You need to put in the work to make it.
Thank you so much.
Let's take Yemi.
Speak, I think.
No, Yemi had Yemi had a question in the chat.
Okay.
Yemi, where are you? Please put your hand up so I can ask you to unmute, because she's been waiting for a while. You put your hand up in the chat, but I can't see you that way. No? Okay, let's go to Ronke then.
If you type her name in, I think she'll come up as well. If you search for her name, type it. But while we're waiting for Yemi, let's quickly have Ronke, please. Yeah. Unmute yourself, please. Quick.
Good evening, everyone. I think my question around faith till you make it is, I'll give you an example of there was a time I was maybe I was in a church, for example, when there was a program. Oh, sorry, when I was in a church and there was a program. So sometimes they will encourage you to think like, oh, you can give from your credit card, live that life. So, I think the question was in relation to when you say what you're wearing. So, for example, I remember one time I had a jeans and they're like, oh, is this what you wore to church? And, obviously, you were talking about toxic friend, but, in church, you don't think that these people are toxic. You think, okay, this is my fake life. So that's what I'm saying, asking the question that they'll tell you, oh, try and live this life or be able to buy this because you're faithing it, believing God for it. And you have to, for example, you have to put something in to get something back. I understand now. Sorry?
I think Pastor Maureen, you need to mute yourself.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by, for example, I remember one time they're like, oh, put it on the credit, you're going for the program, the anointing you're going to get back. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I know that there are people in this situation now. I'm not there, and I thank God. But I know there are people in that situation that they're in debt as a result. So that's why I'm like, how do you then balance it? Because it's easier for an outsider to see than when you're in church and it's coming from a leader, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And what you need to know is that you have a relationship with God as well. And God will bless you in the corner of your room. You don't have to be in a big church for God to bless you. And again, it's an attempt to put you in a transactional relationship with God. And I'm not talking from some, rarefied hair. I'm going to confess. When I was in university, I would collect my allowance and go to school, every week or every other week. And that particular week, I'd gone home for the weekend. I collected my allowance, and I was going to go to school. And this, my neighbor, older woman, married woman, came to me and said, okay, are you off to school? I'm like, yeah. She's like, there's a program, and you need to come for this program. And it's a really big Nigerian pastor that was having that program. I was like, okay, like he's in town, you need to come, the anointing, everything, you need to, come and be blessed, blah, blah. And so I went. As I was entering the building, I saw two of my friends as well. Oh, you are here. We're here. We all sat together. And then the service started, and they started that thing about giving till it hurts, give to get it back. They shared testimony of someone that gave 1 million and got 10 million, somebody that gave 2 million and got 5 million, all of that, making it look like God is a God of lottery. And they were sharing these things, and we're sharing these things. And then when they were passing the offering basket, I think I brought out something like 100 naira because it was in Nigeria. And the older woman beside me was like, okay, don't you want to experience anointing? Is that all the money you have? Don't you just collect your allowance? Give everything and see how God will bless you. And I was looking at her. And that day, it wasn't that I didn't want anointing. It was the fear of my mom that didn't allow me to give everything. So I gave half. My friends, the two of that lady beside me, they gave everything. They gave their whole allowance. And all of us went to school. And that was it. By Wednesday, my friend came crying to my room because they were hungry. And the three of us started managing the half that was left with me. Did we get any anointing, financial anointing from that giving? No. Not till the end of that school term, not till the end of that school year, not till I left that university. Did anything happen that was extraordinary, like somebody came and gave us money the way that had been presented to us? And it's unfortunate, but we're not meant to have a transactional relationship with God. We are not. Don't fake it till you make it. If they tell you to dress in a particular way for the life that you want, no, that's not the conversation you want to be having. They're asking you to live beyond your means. When it's time for you to pray, tell God, God, I want to dress in this particular way. I want to be able to afford this kind of life. Open my eyes to see the jobs that I can apply for. What courses should I do? Who should I talk? Order my steps so that I'm working in the right place and meeting the right people that will tell me there is an opening somewhere. My office is hiring. You have the right face for it. Grant me favor so that tomorrow my manager will come to me and say, actually, you worked well this year. Do you want to join the 1 year process to get promoted? But you have to work well first before your manager will look at you and say that. So these are the things that we need to do as Christians. We have to apply wisdom so that we can get the things we want. But it's not by blackmailing God and saying, I gave all my money last month and nothing has happened. My faith is shaking. You are the one shaking your own faith. You are sitting by yourself and shaking your own faith by your own self. So you need to walk away from the idea that Christianity or faith is a transactional thing. It's not. You need to accept that unless God leads you to do something and you have a specific word asking you to do something, then, that's a different conversation entirely. I don't want to go into theology, but what I want you to take away from this thing is that you shouldn't have a transactional relationship with God. Don't fake it. Don't faith it till you make it. Put in the work, trust God, pray, seek favor, and things will happen for you. Live within your means.
Thank you so much for sharing. So, Yemi, just a minute, if you can, please, before I have Reverend, then I can read the comments and Runke can go on. Yemi, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm just going to contribute regarding the credit card. I'm this kind of person. I don't normally use my credit card, but I have a lot of money on my credit card. I don't use it, and the bank keeps increasing it every time, to the extent that they increased it to £12,000. However, there was a time I ended up using some of the money in my credit card. So what happened was I had to use my brain. Like, okay, I use the money, but I know I don't want to pay interest on this money, and I want to pay it back within a certain period. So what I did was I went to get another credit card from another bank, which was a balance transfer credit card. I don't know if people know about that. Balance transfer credit is the normal credit card, but you need to select the one you want, like balance transfer. So what I ended up doing was I transferred all the money, because when I applied for the credit card, they gave me exactly the amount, even more than the amount I'd used from my previous credit card. So I had to do a balance transfer to transfer all the money into the one that I've used. And the balance transfer was for 22 months. I wouldn't pay any interest. You see where I'm coming from? So what I did was I transferred everything to the one I've used, and the current one, which was a different bank, I didn't have to pay any interest on that. And I took my time. I didn't rush myself. The amount I could afford, I did that, and I paid all the money with less than 22 months, and I didn't pay any interest on that. So that's another way people can actually walk around it and make sure they don't owe any debt, and also they don't overspend and use what they don't need to use. So that's my own point. And also regarding the example you just gave regarding saying people put their money and everything. I'm this kind of person. When I'm in church and I'm not led by God, like even if the pastor is saying put 10 million, it's not my, if God has not told me I cannot put anything, it's what I can afford, I'll put. I don't follow the crowd. I do what God has told me to do. So that's why I want to advise people to always do what God tells them to do. Don't follow what the crowd is doing. Just stick to your own faith, and that would work for you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. So if we can just unmute Reverend quickly. Reverend Olayin Kabajo. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you, speaker. You've done a lot of good teaching tonight. And for the people that have contributed, Sister Yemi has actually said part of what I was going to say about using other people's money. you know, which is either in form of taking loans or using credit cards. So I won't talk about that anymore. Very precise. She's really done a good job with that. So, and then the speaker talked about us not seeing our relationship, our financial giving as a transactional relationship with God. Yes, very, very, very key. And she has said it, Tayemi to have mentioned it. So I want to go into the area of that you should follow the crowd. Yeah. So what I want to say also is, even though if you are not following the crowd, yeah, but I don't want us to kind of belittle, or no, not even belittle, underestimate. Yes, that's what I want to say. That you should not underestimate the fact that, yes, it's not a transactional blessed relationship, but at the same time, when you give, whether it's a man of God has said it or a woman of God has said it, or even within yourself, yeah, the Bible itself said, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, men shall give unto you. So with that measure that you give, you shall receive back. I don't want us to underestimate that, even though we're saying that it's not about transactional giving. Yes, the amount you give still matters when it comes to being blessed, when it comes to receiving, because it's the word of God that we are following. In as much as I always say to people as well that no matter what any man of God says, they will not come to your seat to put a rope on your neck and drag you forward, isn't it? To come and give. It is you that comes out yourself. And if you don't receive the blessing, you blame yourself. So Sister, the speaker have mentioned that, and Sister Amy have mentioned that. They will never bring the rope to come and pull you out. So yes, be convicted, be assured, that be convinced, rather, not convicted, be convinced, be assured, yes, that God is leading you to it, because many people, they use their school fees, they use their house rent, they're very stupid and foolish, and at the end of the day, they go back, oh, God has not done this, God never sent you in the first place. But don't let us underestimate the fact that with the measure you give, you shall receive back. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'm just going to move on from just reading the comments quickly. Sorry, there's a comment okay, yeah. I like the fact that you have been real with us. Profits trickling in from your side also, because most people with businesses make those who are yet to start a side also feel so bad. You can be happy with consistent sales, no matter how small, as it adds up in the long run. Thanks, Ronke. And yes, thank you. I like that, Dayo. It's true. You know, whatever you're making, you know, whatever side also, £10, it is something. £20, be grateful for it. Just keep doing whatever you're doing and be consistent. You know, be consistent. Don't give up. And can I say as well that not everyone will be an entrepreneur? I think that's also very important to know. So for some people, you're earning really good money. So like Ronke said, move away from just saving to investing. You know, do something with those goals, those financial goals. Not everyone will be an entrepreneur. So yes, I'll just pass over back to you. I don't want to take your time. And someone says, sorry, you're muted. Can we see the inner page of your two books?
Yes, I will show you the inner page of both books now, but I just want to quickly add that, you know, when I was talking earlier about side hustles, I mentioned to you that for me, affiliate marketing is not something that brings in a lot of money. And that applies to a lot of side hustles. If you type in the hashtag side hustle into Instagram, all sorts of things will come out. People will tell you can become a millionaire with this, you can become a millionaire with that. Ignore them. Nothing will make you a millionaire in 1 month or in 2 months. All of these side hustles are hard work. That's the honest truth. I started my YouTube channel a little over a year ago. In that time, I've churned out maybe 200 videos, like produced, edited by myself and put on YouTube every single week. I have over 2,000 followers. People comment on my videos and everything. You might have the impression that people make serious money from YouTube. And if I tell you they don't, you're going to say, maybe it's you that doesn't make money. It's a lie. These side hustles trickle in money. The thing with content creation and side hustles like that is that they are constant money makers. They will continue to make money when you are sleeping. That's the difference between them and you having a day job that if you hate it, you start making money. There are videos that I made over a year ago, and suddenly I will get notification that it suddenly got a lot of views, a lot of comments, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And that will bring in a little bit of money. YouTube will show you that a video made $6. They will show you that a video had 5,000 views. It made $20. I'm not lying. That's how much YouTube will give you for 5,000. Do you know how many people is 5,000 views? It's not your family and friends, oh. It's no longer your family and friends now. And let me tell you, after the first 2 videos, your family and friends stop watching because they're not necessarily your market. So that is what I wanted to add about side hustles. When you pick up a side hustle, don't get discouraged if it's not giving you the results you want immediately. Keep at it, be consistent, just keep going, and something will trickle in. Last year, a company out of the blues just approached me and said, we've been watching your video and we like this video. And they went and picked a video I made on Instagram when I just started my Bulletproof life, like one of those kind of videos that I've been thinking of archiving. Why am I looking like this in this video? I was not even looking at the camera. Why are my eyes going everywhere? I've been planning to archive that video. And they came and tagged me and said, this video, can you duplicate it for us and use it like this, and we'll pay you like this? And it was a proper company, they had an agency, I had to invoice, the whole big girl move. Immediately I went to go and unarchive all my useless videos. I archived everything. I just bought everything back. I've been looking at it. There's no problem again. Let my eyes be running everywhere. You don't know what is going to bring you money when. So, do your side hustles, be consistent with it, and hope for the best. And as Bumi said, not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur in the conventional sense. If you're an investor, you're an entrepreneur. If you're invested, when people come to me and they do my Follow the Leader program, where I sit with you and I tell you what I would invest in if I was the one that had your money, and you buy some stocks and shares. There are some funds that I will show you that once you buy that stock or that fund, you are invested in Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, Nestle, all the big farmers, Google. You are invested in all those companies. You're an entrepreneur. You are a part owner of those companies. They are working for you. When they make money, you make money. When they declare profit, you declare profit. What else are you looking for? Is that not the whole idea of being an entrepreneur? For a company to declare profit and share you, or your company to declare profit and give you money? And this time around, you get the advantage of becoming an entrepreneur across different companies, across the whole world, and then you can invest and you can make money. My dad retired in his 50s. When I think back to it, that man is a strong man. He retired maybe when he was 55. My dad has been lounging for 20 years. That guy has been chilling for 20 years. And he paid for uni and master's degrees for 5 children from investments, from stocks and shares. It's not that he told me that he paid. It's because I know. Because my dad would give me a note to go to a stockbroker. We live in Ibadan. My parents live in Ibadan. And he'll tell me to go to a stockbroker in Dubai to go and give him this note and tell him this is what he wants to sell. If the number is higher, if you sell this one, if it's high, if it's rated higher, the market is bullish now, go and collect this. He will go, I will come back with a check that I will take to the bank again, grumbling in the sun, to go and collect, to go and bank that check so that I can pay my fees and collect my allowance. So it's not that they told me. You can invest in stocks and shares and mutual funds and all of those things and make good money just as if you've started a business. Let me show you the inside of my books. So this is the Bulletproof Life budget and saving book. And the idea of this book is to help you budget and save better. I've put an introductory note in it, welcoming you to the book and saying nice things. Is my love letter to you if you buy the book. And then on the next page, I've shown you how to use the book. So this is not a budgeting book that you're going to get and you're going to wonder how. I've told you exactly what needs to go into each column. You can see the arrows pointing into each column and explaining what each one is for so that you're not confused at all. This is my monthly budget tracker. This is my monthly budget tracker. This is how I do it. So I write the categories and I write the amounts in there. I write my income received for the month and the total income and all of that. And then I do that every month. See, that's another month. And I keep going like that. And you can turn the page back and look at what you've done every month. Now, on the back of every page, I've given you an opportunity to write notes. So you can write your thoughts, your goals, your plan for the month, some things you want to do. Now, every 3 months, after every 3 months, I've done a page called Improving My Income. 4 things I can cut from my budget. I've given you a space to write 4 things you want to cut from your budget, because now you've budgeted for 3 months. You can see where most of your money is going. What can you cut? What can you reduce? I've also written 3 ways I can make extra income. The 3 ways you can make extra income don't necessarily even have to be side hustles. It could be I will sell the things in my garage. I will sell them on Facebook Marketplace. I like telling people that there's nothing I can't sell on Facebook Marketplace. I've sold sand before. Sand is a big sack of sand. I sold it and the person came and collected it and took it away. So you've got the monthly budget tracker every month. I repeat that until you get to 12 months. Now, I mentioned earlier that you should have financial goals. The book also has an opportunity for you to have a saving goal tracker. That's the place for you to track how much you are saving every month. So if you've saved £100, it goes into one of those piggy box, and you write the date under it, the month under it in which you have saved that particular amount. If you are somebody who has debt you want to pay off, there's a debt prioritization tool here that allows you to write out all your debts, how much, who you took it from, what's the interest rate, what is your monthly payment, when do you want to pay it off. And then once you've tracked the debt, once you've prioritized the debt, you can then write in your payment tracker. If you are paying, oh, thank you, piggy bank is cute, thank you. So you can see that's the debt payment tracker that allows you to track how well you are paying off your debt. And then I put in 10 tips to help you spend less on groceries. This book is a book that gives on giving and giving and giving. There's one more thing at the back of the book. I put in a place for you to write your comprehensive shopping list, because I found out that groceries are another thing that takes away all our money. You just go to Tesco on an empty stomach and start buying spices you never used. Marjoram, sage. I've always wanted to cook with sage. You buy sage. It's going to be sitting in your cupboard. So you have this comprehensive tracker, comprehensive shopping list to help you have a master shopping list for you, so that when you go shopping, and then I finish pages for you to just get creative with. So that's the budget and Bulletproof Life and Saving book. It's $12.99 on Amazon, and they can deliver it tomorrow if you have Prime. Now, my Bulletproof Life Planner is a bit bulkier. This is my favorite book. I have to confess, I love it even more than the budget and saving book. This one, it cost me $8.99 to make it, and I'm selling at $9.99. You can see it's really bulky, and it's for you to write in things to achieve every day. So you have things to achieve. Again, you have a doodle page for you to write your thoughts. At the back, I gave you a bit of a comprehensive shopping list again, but there's something interesting at the back of this book. If you are somebody who needs to set new habits, get a new habit, you can write the new habits down at the back of the book, the start date. You can write notes about your new habits, and then you can track how well you are doing with your new habits. I've given you 4 weeks. Habit, because that's how long it takes for a new habit to settle, about 21 to 28 days. Research has shown that if you can keep up something for 21 to 28 days, it's likely to stick. Now, at the beginning of this book, I've allowed you to have a place. I've created a place for you to write your goals and your dreams. Don't screenshot my goals and dreams. That's my goals and dreams. So I have it in 12 months, 6 months, and 3 months. So you can, first of all, you write your 12-month goals. Then you ask yourself, which part of that do I want to achieve in 6 months? And which part of that do I want to achieve in 3 months? And that is at the beginning of this book, and it guides you for the rest of the year. Honestly, in the last 1 month, I've been using this book. I've already gone quite a distance in it. These are all the pages I've already used, and once it goes into this book, it gets done, because it's there reminding me every day that something I need to get done. So nothing falls out and I don't forget.
There was a question about the funds to invest in. You were going to talk about that.
I wasn't going to give a list of funds. I just mentioned
say that she has a YouTube.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I have a program.
There is one on YouTube, and I can attest to that you can go and watch, and it's got everything in there.
Yes.
The book is on Amazon. If you put her name in Amazon, if you do Ronke Odewumi, you should see all the books come up on Amazon.
Yes.
I've got someone's hand up, which is Olayinka. If you can just unmute her, and then she can ask a question.
Oluyinka,
Hello.
go ahead.
Yeah, hello. I have a question about mortgage. Some time ago, I just want to clarify about mortgage, whether it makes sense or not in a way.
Okay.
When we're talking about finances,
Okay.
I was discussing with a friend of mine, and she was telling me about comparing the amount that is being paid for rent on a council flat compared to the amount that you have to pay if you have a mortgage apartment. For example, she was paying maybe like 120, let's say £400 a month for a council flat, and then the mortgage she was hoping to get would cost her about 400,000. That is to be paid over 25 years. So we now sat down and calculated to see that, okay, if you're paying such amount for council, which is in a year, maybe 50, in a year, if you're paying the mortgage, if you're paying rent in a year and it's £100 a week, let's say or £100 a week, £100 a week will be £400 every month. So 400 now times 12. I don't know how we calculated it that day when we sat down. So in a way, we discovered that like the amount she's going to be paying for 25 years is barely 100,000. I mean, the amount she will pay on council flat for 25 years is barely 100,000, like 150,000 pounds for the whole of 25 years living in a flat, compared to buying the flat itself for 450 pounds or 450,000 pounds. So how does that work out? Because I don't make sense of it. We argued and argued about it.
Okay. So there's a vital piece you are missing. And the vital piece is that the flat that she buys gains value. That is the vital piece you are missing. So when she's renting the council flat and it's going to cost her 100,000, that's 100,000 that doesn't belong to her after that. It's gone. On the other hand, if she buys the council flat and then pays the same 100,000 as mortgage, she pays, let's say, 150,000 out of 400,000. And so she's still owing 250,000, right? By 25 years' time, that 450,000 flat is probably going to be worth 700,000. Now, she has paid only 150 out of 400, but her flat is now worth 700. So now she has not just the 150 that she's paid into the flat, but she now has an additional 300,000 that the flat has gained in value. She is now worth 450,000, while the person renting is still worth zero. So that 450,000, she can choose to then sell the flat in 25 years' time, take her 450,000, get a smaller apartment or an apartment outside the city, far away from there, something with less value, and then she has money in her pocket. So she's technically and in all sense a richer person than the person that was renting, and her asset was not increasing in value. What I always say to people is not to buy too much house. So that means don't buy the kind of house, for example, that is going to cost you so much that you will never pay it off. And at the end of the day, you're going to struggle and you might lose the house. But if you can afford it, the worst case scenario that's going to happen is that at the time of in 25 years' time, you will sell the house and downsize into a smaller house because the house has gained value. But as much as possible, try not to buy too much house. You're just living alone. You go and buy a 4-bedroom, or there's just you and your husband. You buy a 5-bedroom house with a lake at the back because, again, you want to impress people. So that can put you into trouble because you can have issues with monthly payments. And the problem with a mortgage is that they don't care how much you've paid so far. Once you start missing payments and they want to take your house, they will sell it to the highest bidder, which will not benefit you much. You're likely to lose money, and they will give you whatever is left, which might be nothing. So that is why you want to be careful of buying too much house. But I will always advocate buying your own home, if the opportunity arises, if you can afford to, and if you want to have that as an extra sort of investment in addition to any kind of other investment that you might make. So the opportunity to increase in value of a house and the fact that you can downsize and take out money is what benefits you as a property owner. There are 2 questions in the chat. There is one question that asked about how I manage finances with my husband, with my partner. My partner and I have a 100% transparency rule around money. So we run a single post, we run a single spreadsheet of spending. Now, I'm not somebody who will tell you, oh, you must throw all your money into one purse with a man. A lot of religious leaders will tell you to have one purse with a man. All of you should have one purse. We are all what God has joined together. Let no man put us under. It's true. However, as an accountant who has also experienced a lot of people with financial abuse, and the people who tend to get financial abuse is women. Because you are in a relationship and your money has now entered one purse with one person. You no longer have access to your own funds. You don't have access to money. You no longer can do things. Friction begins to happen. So the money relationship you have with your partner depends a lot on the relationship you have with your partner. So it depends on how you guys relate with money. I married somebody who somehow doesn't rate money. So for the first year of our marriage, all of his salary came into my account. And then he would ask me to give him an allowance. And he would say, then he had this habit of saying, give me 50 pounds, I want to buy something. Give me 100 pounds and I want to buy shoes. And initially he was cute, but he stopped being cute when I realized that by putting all his money into my account, he had no financial worries. He didn't budget. He didn't save. He didn't invest. And it was a trick. He was happy to do it because then he didn't have to worry about money, and then he didn't have to be the one trying to say, let me not cheat my partner, let me not chance my partner, let me balance it. So if I buy this shoe, I want to look as if it's because his money is in my account. If I buy this bag. So we have to sit down and say, look, we need to balance this account. We need to sit down together. We need to budget and save. And then we started, budgeting together. And it stopped being me just budgeting for the family. It meant both of us budgeting. And even till now, we have a Google spreadsheet, which we use. So in addition to me writing my numbers in my book, we have a Google spreadsheet, which allows both of us to have sight of money that goes in. And we have never in the last 11 years, going 12 years, had a conversation where he said, so what did you do with this? In fact, I'm more likely to say, you are really sponsoring Starbucks. So last month, you just went to Starbucks as if something was happening. I'm more likely to do that than he is. So that also is because of the dynamics of relationship. So consider the dynamics of your relationship as you manage money. But I encourage transparency as much as possible. Money is not everything in that sense. So the hiding of money, unless you're in a situation where there's abuse or, there are other things going on that require you to have a separate hiding fund. And that's a different, conversation entirely. There's another question here that says, how can we encourage people who have not prospered despite working hard and working smart? When you say they have not prospered, it's a dicey one, because if somebody is working hard and working smart and they have a roof over their head, maybe they don't have all of the things that they want, but you can't exactly say they've not prospered. Maybe they are not where they want to be yet. You only have to encourage them. If they have a business that you can patronize it. If you have a business that they can that can help them make money, let them make money from you. If there's a way you can open a door for them, open a door for them. That is how you can encourage somebody who you think is working hard and working smart. You can open doors for them, pull them up the ladder along with you. And once in a while, if you have a little more, it's okay to give as well. It's a ministry in itself when you give to others. It's a ministry when you help others as well. Try and give to the food bank is a very good thing. If you go to Tesco and you shop and you do a little extra shopping and you dump it at the food bank, Tesco and all these other stores tend to have food bank baskets out there. So these are also ways that we can give, and you can support them with prayers. You can support them by encouraging them with your words. Don't be the toxic friend. I talk about this toxic friend as if we are the ones who have toxic friends. Sometimes we are the toxic friends. Sometimes you are the toxic person in the room. You are the one putting your friends under unnecessary pressure. You are the one doing the another shift. Hey, this money must come. No, don't be the toxic friend. Be an encourager. be the one that says yes to every idea. How do we make it happen? What do you need me to do for you? How do I support you? So how are you going to do it? How are you going to make it land? Shall I arrive early to come and help you set up? Is that what that is how you can encourage somebody who you see working hard and working smart?
Okay.
We have a hand up.
Hand up, yeah. If we can just unmute Reverend, please. And then we read the question in the chat.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. I was the one that asked that question that you just answered.
Okay.
Yes. So what I am trying to ask is that from a financial point of view, what advice can you give? Not what that individual can give to that other person. I'm asking what this person can still do in order to be able to make ends meet. And okay, let me give you an example.
Okay.
When I said that somebody has not prospered, yes, they haven't. They cannot say, okay, I've been doing this business. This is what I can show for it. And that's what I mean by they have not prospered.
Okay.
And they are really hardworking. So is it that what I want to find out is, can they diversify? And if they can, like we've talked about using other people's money, and they have, and yet things have not really worked out. So that's, and you have given your own, I'm not an accountant, I'm not financially inclined that much, even though I've attended so many other webinars and trainings and all that. I can only give the much I know, but I'm asking from the professional point of view, what else can this person or these people do to, kind of break even? That's the reason I asked the question. Thank you.
So there are a lot of things they can do. First of all, the person needs to...
Probably we have such people on the platform as well. So when you answer, they'll be able to pick from what you're saying. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so first of all, looking at the business they are doing currently, I don't know what business it is, but they first of all need to look at the financial discipline they are applying to that business. I'm going to use retail as a small example. If you have a retail shop and all the revenue, all the money that comes into that retail shop, the moment it comes in, you take it to the market and cook a pot of tea with it, that business will never grow. So there has to be financial discipline with the money that is coming into the business. So when you have business and this person is working hard, they're working smart, what do they do with the money? The revenue that comes in, do they put it back into the business as much as they can? What are they doing with that revenue? How are they disciplined with the money? Some people have retail shops, but when their family members come, they will sell to them on credit. They will sell to them on credit. They will not chase that credit. When the family member comes back again, they will sell again on credit. So sometimes they need to be tough. One thing I noticed is that a lot of people say rich people are wicked, rich people are mean, rich people are not nice. It's because the rich person has discipline. The rich person knows how to say no. Some people will come, they will gauge a rich person and say, after visiting that person, the person just gave me 5,000 naira or 200 pounds or 100 pounds. It's because that rich person is astute. So that person, do they have financial discipline? How careful are they with the money that is coming in? Money doesn't have wings. The other thing they need to consider is their pricing points. Some people underprice themselves. If you are underpricing yourself, then you will work hard for little money. If you put money into a business, you need to look at your cost, all of your costs. Some people consider some costs and don't consider others when they price their business. They will look at how much it costs them to purchase a good, and then they will use that to determine how much they should sell. They haven't included transport. They haven't included the cost of their shop. They haven't included the fact that that shop needs electricity and gas or water. They haven't included the fact that they pay salary to an assistant in that shop. They haven't, included all of their costs in planning their pricing, in planning their revenue. And if you include all your costs and add on the profit and find yourself more expensive than competitors in the market, then you need to review your supply chain. Where are you getting your products from? Are you buying from the source? Are you buying from where everybody else is buying from? Or are you buying from overpriced sources? Now, if your prices are higher because you have better quality, then you need to sit tight. You need to put that price up as it should be because you are selling quality, and then you need to market your product. When I first wrote my book and I was trying to sell it, I had a publisher friend, and my publisher friend said that the books that sell, the book that get awards, are not the best written books. They are the books that have the best marketing budgets. They are the books that have somebody marketing them and pushing them and putting them into your hand, because if nobody reads that book, you won't sell. If you write the best book in the world and you put it in a box under your bed, nobody will buy it, nobody will aware of it until you die. And then somebody will read and say, oh, wow, what a book. But you're already gone because there was no marketing. So this person might need to be ingenious. They have to be creative with how they push their product. They have to be bold. They have to put themselves out there. If you're selling a product, you need to talk about it constantly. If your friends don't like it, they should unfriend you. I always tell people, put your products on your status. That's what your status is there for. People that don't like it can mute you. They can remove you from their status, whatever. The people that want to buy it will buy it. Put your product out there, make flyers, go to door, network, do what you need to do to put product out there. So for that person, they can look at their cost lines, their supply chain. They can look at how they're spending their revenue. They can also look at how they're marketing their product, and then they can pivot. If something is not working, you pivot. You change direction. If that particular product is not working, you change direction. Amazon started out selling books. Amazon didn't stay selling books. Amazon moved into something else. A lot of companies start out, doing something else entirely, and then they move. When you are selling a particular product, I have a very good friend who started, who liked partying in the evenings, and decided to buy a club. And he bought a club. And when he bought the club, he noticed that when people finish partying, the next morning they will say they're hungry. And then you will see them trooping out, looking for early morning breakfast places that they can eat, blah, blah. So this guy added like a bit of restaurant cubicle or a catering cubicle, to his club, and started serving breakfast. Started serving people quick breakfast in the morning after they've partied all night. And this person said 6 months in, he realized that the quick breakfast thing was making more money than the club. And this person decided to open more restaurants and has now gone on to own a huge restaurant chain in Nigeria, and has held on to just the club as a momentum of, as a token of when it was doing. It started out as a club, and this person is rolling in the money now, but he moved away from that. So the person who is struggling with succeeding at what they're doing now might want to pivot. I will use myself as an example. Every few months, I sit down with my PA and I ask her, what can we do differently? If you've ever tried to grow an Instagram account, you will know how hard it is to grow an Instagram account, how hard it is. Every 3 months, we sit down, we look at my content. What should I be doing differently? People who follow me will notice that I'm not doing posts so much anymore. I'm doing reels. I'm doing more reels, putting me out there. In 3 months' time, I'm going to review it. If reels are not working, what should I be doing differently? I've done stories in the past. Then I've come and done this. Then I've come and done that. You keep changing the idea. When I do my YouTube videos, I go and look at my insights. What is working? What is not working? What kind of videos are people looking at? Are they watching the investment ones more, or do they prefer me to gist with them? If they don't like me to gist, do they want, so the person needs to review their business. And if it's not working as it is, they should pivot out of it.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think that sums it up. I have another question. Okay, please, whoever is asking for Amazon, just put in a name. If you put in a name, you search for it, a book should come up. That's the way Amazon works. And a few people have been asking so many questions. Please do follow her on YouTube, follow her on Instagram. All these questions that you're asking, to be honest, if you follow her, a lot of them are there and they've been answered. Another person that I follow is Martin Lewis. If you've never heard of him, very good websites, especially if you're in the UK. He does a lot of, he does all the work of searching cards, which one is good, what interest rate is good. If you've got a mortgage, make sure that, you're checking interest rates as well. Very, very important. Don't pay the minimum only. Even if you had £100 extra, that will cut down a lot. There's so many things to be done, but just keep reading, follow her. That's why she's here. You get a lot out of her once you start to follow her. Stocks and shares as well. So many YouTube videos on our YouTube page. Go watch it. All the answers are there. So back to you, Ronke.
I'm trying to put the link for the books. Oh, this is a long link. I just put in the one for the budget and saving book in the chat so that everyone can copy it. I'm going to put in the one for the planner as well, so that we can.
Just gonna think. Yeah, perfect.
I'm sorry, I don't know why the links are so long, but I've put them in.
Yeah, I've just clicked one. It takes you there direct.
Yeah. So one is the planner and the other is the budget and saving book.
Okay. And someone says, can you do a sample Google spreadsheet?
So I have a Google spreadsheet for budgeting and it's free. And if you go to my Instagram account, there's a link there for you to just download it. So it's a free budgeting book. It's exactly the one I use. And you can simply download it and use it. So it's not something I'm charging for, it's free. It's there.
The next question is, how does someone who is not a business person or a financial expert manage to have extra income or have a better financial plan? I think, yeah, that's why we're here. How does someone who is not a business person or financial expert manage to have extra income or have a better financial plan? Yeah, it's all about education, isn't it?
Education. You can get yourself a coach. I do coaching, but at the same time, you can simply educate yourself. You can read, and consume information online. You need to be careful what information you are accepting because there's a lot going on online, but there is information online. And the funny thing is in the UK, you can also access the government website. The Gov UK website has a lot of information to support people on saving, on budgeting and things like that, you know, but information is online. YouTube has a lot, my channel, and there are other channels as well who will tell you what is going on out there, and then you can use that to grow your knowledge. There are books that you can read as well that will grow your knowledge and help you become more confident with money.
I've got someone unique. If you just unmute yourself and ask your question. Unique.
Hi, thank you so much. Thanks, TT. I don't know if you're on here. Thanks for sending me the link. So this was quite useful and really good. That question was mine. That's why I raised my hand, but you've actually just mentioned what I wanted to ask, because there's so many things online. And for someone who I would say it's not that financially good with savings, you could get scared with some of the things that you see there. I'm not a to-do list person, or I am. My pastor said it should be positive. I'm getting better with to-do lists. And so you have all these plans and then it doesn't work in 1 week. And then you find yourself that you just go, well, this is me. And I know Titi for how many years has been saying, you need to get an extra income. You need to try so many things. I'm one of those that even when I'm doing businesses, I don't know how to fight people for money. I even get my sister take my stuff and sell it to me. That's how bad I am. She's like, okay, if you want it back, pay this amount. So I know that I'm thinking I'm not a business person, but I want to be able to have an extra income so I don't have to have that financial worries. What do you do with all those information, even if you're reading them? How do you start small is my word, actually.
Okay. So with the information, you need to ask questions. You need to ask and challenge everything twice. You know, one thing I always say to people when I do my follow the leader session and to anybody, I don't take your money. Don't give your money to anybody. Don't let people invest on your behalf. They're not going to do anything that you can't do yourself. They should show you. They want to show you like this. If you don't understand the investment, don't do it. When they explain it to you and it's looking like this, don't do it. You know, I've been insulted on YouTube before. Somebody said you're just conservative. Just confess and say you're conservative. That's why. Well, conservative me doesn't lose money because I don't chase what I don't know. So don't allow anybody to corner you and say, oh, I will do it for you. Just bring the money. Don't you trust me? You need to just hold on to your money quietly. If you're somebody that struggles to sell to others, that's you being self-aware. You know yourself. You don't have to do business that you will sell to others. You don't have to. You can simply stick with investing and just invest and go quietly. I know people who just invest and keep it moving. They don't do any extra business and they don't have to. If you invest and you do it right, your money will double and triple over the years. The thing with investment is that it requires patience. It's not glamorous. It's not sexy. It's not the kind of thing that people will come and say, oh, I made 10,000 today. You'll be looking at them because that's not you. You will make the same 10,000 over time. You won't do it early. You will do it over time. If you're somebody who doesn't like selling, property investment might be better for you. Because with property, you don't have to go around shaking a bell and selling property. You can buy a property, do it up, rent it out, and you're resting. Income is coming in. When they wake you up on Saturday to come and repair boiler, don't complain. You're the one that wanted to become landlord. If you don't want to do that, you can buy property, you can renovate it and flip it and sell it and pocket your change. That's also a good idea. So you just have to be creative about the kind of business you do. The business you do has to suit your personality. If you don't like talking to people, don't do sales business. Don't do marketing. If you don't like selling to people and saying, buy it now, then don't go and do retail. Leave retail for the people who can market and sell themselves. You have to play to your strength, play to your strength. And at the end of the day, investment is an option. I even talked about something on my channel last week called REITs. You can invest in property without buying property. That's the thing. You don't even have to buy property and have £20,000 or £30,000 and start looking for a mortgage, get a buy-to-let mortgage, pay the stamp duty, pay the extra stamp duty, look for tenants. Tenant has ruined my house. I have to get a new tenant. You can avoid all that by simply putting your money in a real estate investment trust. And that's investing your money in the companies that own places like Canada Water, Blue Water, Canary Wharf. They make money, you make money. The law requires them to pay 90% of their revenue back to you. So they can't even make profit and hide it. They have to give it to you. So that is why REITs are a good idea for you to invest in. So play to your strength.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Ronke, I actually wanted to say what Ronke said. Investing, using investors to invest for you at a cost. My work as a program like that, my work as, in fact, everywhere I've worked, I think also just if you work, just check your work pecs, because a lot of work pecs at the moment are doing crazy things. You can work with them and they can take a fraction of your salary. They invest in stocks and shares at a very good price, because you're an employee there, obviously. So you get to have a better deal. And also there are loads, there are savings as well at work that happens where they take a bit of your salary. There are also perks at work as well that, they team up with technology, and depending on where you work, they team up with technology. You don't have to pay any interest. And so for a lot of people, they don't look at their perks at work. Take a look at your perks at work because they are there for you and it's good for you to use them while you're working with them, obviously. And someone also said they have a question. Staflora, can you?
Yes. Okay, question. We're talking about us adults. How do we begin to teach our children good financial habits or financial education or literacy, whichever way you want to call it?
By first of all, leading by example. You need to know that these kids are watching you and they won't do it different from you, or they will refuse to be challenged if they find that you yourself are not living a life that is financially astute. So first of all is to lead by example. The second thing is to carry them along. Money is not a taboo. So let's not treat it like that. When you want to spend, keep them abreast. If you are having a holiday, tell them that we are saving up for a holiday. Don't let them think the holiday appears out of the blues. We are saving up for a holiday. We are going to go on holiday. The holiday is going to cost us £3,000 and we're going to save up for it and we're going to meet our target. You'll be surprised that you are putting something in their minds that it's okay to save up for things that you want. It's okay to delay gratification. It's okay for you to wait 6 months to go on that holiday because you are saving up for it. Also, if you go to Tesco or Sainsbury or Asda with young children, allow them to calculate the bill. Allow them to see how much we are paying. At some point, I was using my 6-year-old as a check on myself when I go to the grocery store. Before we go to the grocery store, I will write the list and give it to her and say there are 5 things on this list and mommy is not allowed to buy more than 5 things because we are being financially smart. Children have no filter. Right inside Tesco, my daughter will be screaming, we have 5 things. We already have 5 things. Don't add that. Not on the list. Mommy, why are you adding that? Then she's there, she's screaming. And she feels responsible. She feels like she's my accountability partner. And she's already aware of the fact that we use grocery lists. And she will say, can I add that to the list? And she's aware of that. And sometimes I play the I don't have money card. I don't have money card simply because I want them to know that I'm not an endless supply of funds, and it starts early. I don't have money. I have to think about that. I have to plan for that. Okay, maybe we can do that next month. This month's money has been planned. So let's see if we can squeeze that in next month. I'm like, oh, okay, next month. And now she says things like, mommy, I saw a pair of boots. Can we squeeze it in next month? So I'm teaching them delayed gratification. So those are the little ways you can teach them delayed gratification. You can also help them have piggy banks. And there are bank accounts that you can open for children now from about the age of 9. where they will have their own cards and you can put a certain amount of money on it and then they can spend that money and then two of you can sit down and discuss how they spent their money. This is not time for you to start shouting and telling them you don't have discipline. If you continue like this, you work in McDonald's. If you continue like this, I don't know where you will end up. I don't know. I work for this money. I work for this money. This is not the time for you to be a Nigerian mommy or daddy. Sit down with them and talk about how they spend their money. Let me tell you a quick story. I started secondary school at the age of 9. And this meant that I was in the same class with my older brother. So we both started secondary school the same year, even though he is older than I am. When we started, the first Monday, my dad did not give me a single day's allowance. My dad gave me a whole week's allowance. I was 9 and I had all these crisp notes because my dad worked in the bank and had all these crisp notes, and my dad handed it to me on a Monday and I went off to school. So on Monday, I was new, I was doing registration, I didn't have friends. By Tuesday, I had made a lot of friends because, it's your girl. And then by Wednesday, I took my friends to the snack corner and I bought pop-off and limca. I don't know if you guys remember that drink. And I bought pop-off and limca for everybody. And, I was a big girl and I spent my whole week allowance. On Thursday, my friends came up and I didn't have any money. So on Thursday, they were like, okay, we'll give you something. They just give me a little. And on Friday, nobody bought me lunch. So that's the thing. If you don't plan your money, you will spend it anyhow. Initially, your friends might help you. After a while, they'll get tired of you. And finally, if you don't plan your money, you will go hungry. When I got home that Friday and I explained to my dad, this is what happened, this is what happened. He asked me how I spent my money. I told him, he said, okay, why don't you not take all your money to school? Just take the one you need, divide it into 5 and take what you need for each day, blah, blah, blah. And he said, okay, do you understand now? I said, yes. He called my brother into the room and asked him how he spent his money. And this guy that I'm struggling to like every time I think about this thing, had 10 naira left. And my dad doubled his money and said, yes, you have 10 naira left. Okay, there's another 10 naira for you as your profit for, being frugal with your money. It is a lesson that stayed with me for the last 30 years because it was a straight up lesson, And so those are the things we can teach our children money lessons with simple things, simple experiences. Don't be so quick to rescue them. Don't be so quick to give them money for everything very quickly, and things like that.
Thank you so much. Harriet Adeleke, we're going to call it a night soon. Pastor Maureen says, just to mention, my Obi and I are so blessed. It's already on your YouTube channel. If you're not subscribing to our channel, you're not doing yourself a favor. There's more on our channel. So you want to subscribe to it. You want to listen to the video. And maybe let YouTube as well pay her $20. Let people pay her more money than $20 at least, so that she can take the children on holiday.
Yes.
Okay, so please subscribe. Harriet, please.
Yes, thank you so much. This has been a very eye-opening experience. I just wanted to add a little bit to your story about teaching the kids. I used to live in the UK. I'm in the US now, so I kind of have a bit of experience of both worlds. So I think it was a fair or a gala I took the kids to. I think they were between 6 and 7 at the time. And they have all these games around, and I already told them, you have £10 for all the games they're playing today. You have £10. And so they just got happy and they were jumping on all the games. And at the end of the day, they had like maybe 50 cents left. And they had the game they really wanted to go on. I think it was a balloon or something. I was like, well, and they came back to me like, well, I don't have any more money to give you. Go to that lady. Ask her if she can take the money for 2 of you. Like, put your money together and bargain and ask her if she'll take this much for both of you to go on. And they did. And the lady said yes. And they were so excited, like, Mommy, oh my God, we can't believe this. She actually let us go. I'm like, yes, that is life. People put prices on things. It doesn't mean you have to pay that price. You have to learn to bargain. And I'm sure that lesson has stayed with them. Like, you have to bargain. That is life. You have to bargain. So teach them to bargain. That's all I want to add.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Ronke's got
to
a hand
add to
up.
that as well. Yeah, I saw Ronke's and I remember my first, I think when he was 10 or 11, I used to send him a lot to Tesco. He used to be my shopping list person. And I remember the day he came home and he said, oh, because something was buy one, get one free, because for him, oh, buy one, get one free means, oh, and sometimes buy one, get one free is not the ultimate, because it could be running out. It could be expired. It could be that it's expired next week. So I had to tell him, you know what, sit down. Sometimes when something is buy one, get one free, do you really need it? If you don't need it, you're just buying it and you're just keeping it at home. And that has stayed with him. And another thing that I teach my children is for their birthdays or whatever, I don't do just go and buy something. No, I tell them if it's £10, £10 is your budget. I tell them go online, start searching for your thing, whatever you want to, but this is your budget. And they would go. In fact, they know all the sites. They will argue, they will check for vouchers, they will check for discounts. In fact, sometimes they would even tell me, Mom, I'm not buying anything for this one. Let's add it again to the next one to be able to get. So there are so many ways to teach children. But like Ronke rightly said, that it must start with us first. They must see it in us first because we are their first teachers. Okay, so Ronke, before we go, I want us to close at 9:20. Yes, please, Ronke, go on.
Yeah, no, it's just add quickly to what you said, that you're so right about, we being the teachers for our kids. So for example, like with my children, like I tend to let them to my account, although they're not allowed to discuss. So we kind of, show them. But what I wanted to say is that, about getting them a card. So they got a card this Christmas, like a savings card, that they have their own actual card and they get an allowance. But it's so interesting that now that my kids, although they have a savings that they've had from when they were like a baby, but this card is like, you can withdraw. But what I noticed with my kids is that now that the money is piling up, they will not spend any, like literally they don't, like they will tell you that you should use your own money. I said, but you have your money. They'll be like, no, that is for, I don't want to touch it. But also what they now do is that because they know that if they do anything, they'll have to the trust. Even exercise, they'll say, when I do exercise, will you pay me for it? So, for me, it's quite encouraging because now it's like they're competing like, oh, I want to have a savings as well. I want to do this as well. And what is so beautiful is that when they go out, nobody can pressure them to say, because they're like, I don't want to spend my money, but I'm happy to spend your own money with you. So it's just to encourage you, like this Go Henry, I think you can get it from wherever age. Like my son is 5. He has a card. He looks at the card like this. He looks at his money, but he won't take from that money. There's nothing you can tell them. Even if they tell you they want pizza, they'll tell you to use your own money, not their own savings, because so it's just a way of encouraging them as well. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Just a quick one before we finish on the issue of paying children for chores and errands.
I was going to talk about that.
This is a bit controversial because I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan as well.
I'm not a fan. And the reason is children need to learn to chip into the community they live in without expecting reward.
Yep.
Children need to know that when they live in a space, they need to contribute, to improve, to better that space and be a part of it. And every child should have chores. I have a 5-year-old and it's a responsibility to load the washing machine. Our hands are small, so they can reach well into the bag and load it well. And she knows that is our job, And when the clothes are on the hanger and they are dry, my 8-year-old's job is to put them away in everybody's wardrobes when we folded them. Please don't pay your children for chores and errands. The only time it's okay to pay them is if you have a company or a business and your children come and work with you. So if you're a caterer, for example, and you have teenagers and you take them on a job to go and serve, you should pay them. That is a job. That is not in the house. So if you have a car wash and your children have come to work in your car wash during the summer holidays, you need to pay them. So if they work in your business, it's very important that you actually pay them. They should be able, they should understand the concept that a laborer is deserving of his wages. But at home, chores and errands, please, please, please do not pay children to do chores and errands. I don't care how hard or how heavy those chores are. Thank them with kisses, hugs, chicken, points. I'll take you to the cinema someday. I'll have the time with you, but don't pay them for chores and errands. And for young children, a good way to also give them an appreciation of money and assets is to teach them monopoly. You will be surprised what that game can do. Initially, my child didn't understand it. She would just play it anyhow. But after like playing it 5-6 times, once she's throwing her dice, she's buying Bond Street, she's buying Houston, she's buying train stations, and then she's watching you. The moment you land on her house, she's like, you owe me 15, you owe me 20. She's counting out money, and it's a good way to help them have an understanding of assets and how your assets can help you become more wealthy, because you charge people for using your assets. You can make more money from your assets. So Monopoly is a good game to introduce to young children. You know, it encourages counting, mathematics, and also an awareness of money.
Thank you so much for touching on that, because I wanted to say the same, that, you know, you don't have to agree, because obviously different households and different rules, but I'm not also in agreement with paying of chores. We must understand that we have to contribute. You know, we're part of a family. They're living in the house. Everyone has a contribution to make, and that is what makes a family. You know, so I think Ronke has done a bit of justice on it, so I'm not going to go back on that. And also, it's important that a child does not feel that everything is to do with money. It's very important. As they get older, you know, you can do things for people. Money does not have to be in an involvement in it. So thank you so much for sharing that one.
Just one question. Someone wants to know how to get in touch with you directly.
My email address.
It's still the same. Go to our social media accounts. She's accessible. Don't worry, she's not a celebrity that is not accessible.
Okay, can you put your email address in the chat, please? Can you put your email address
put your
in the
email
chat?
address, Ronke, please.
Please,
in the chat.
I'm doing that now.
Send it to everyone, because I think the last one you sent it to me. So send it to everyone. Yeah, change it to everyone. Pastor Maureen, and then we will close. Thank you, ma'am.
Should I do the link again? Should I send the book links again?
Yes, please. Yes, please. And there's also, if you want to be kept abreast of events coming up in February, we're going to have a couple. We have the Colossians family again. They came last year, and they've been such a blessing. And I also think they have something this February. Sister Wumi, am I right? I think I saw something for a couple, forgiveness and communication or something. I will send that. I'll put that on my status. I'll also put it on my Instagram. They are a blessing. They'll be coming back in February. And after that, we'll continue to have financial education till May. Ronke has been fantastic, and I think everyone has echoed the same. Please do follow her on all platforms. You will get more. Trust me, you will get more. And more so, you will get a reminder. I think it's more about reminding. You will see her as not as Ronke, as a different character, and you would laugh, but it's serious, serious stuff. So yeah. Pastor Maureen, please. And then maybe Pastor Maureen, once you are finished, you can pray for us, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for the honor and the privilege. I just want to quickly add, and I know it's Ronke Samuel that spoke about her child not wanting to spend money. My children are like that, but you see, if we don't also let them understand how money works, they can become selfish and a hoarder. So there is a good balance that we need to. For me, I teach my children how money works. And when you're hoarding it, you're also being a slave to money, because that money is dictating your behavior. What you want your children to understand, and Ronke Samuel, we will talk about it later. What you want them to understand is money is a resource that you use. Money should not use you. And so when they say, oh, we don't want to spend our money, we have a way in which my husband and I talk to them. And I really spend time with them, because I know how I was before I became a Christian, and God gave me understanding around finances, and especially now that I'm beginning to invest and all that. So I just want to also bring that caution in there, that we need to understand, because money loses value over time. And people don't realize that. They think, oh, the more money I have, but it loses value. So, there's compounding, there's so many other things that come with money. And I'm sure by the time we go to Ronke's social media places, where we're already on it anyway right now.
I'm so grateful.
I'm sure
thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm sure we will be well educated. So I just wanted to bring that word of caution, that we need to let people know it's good to spend. You just need to spend it in the right way.
Yeah.
God bless you. So we will end now. Bumi, is that okay
Yes, please.
for us
Thank
to
you so
pray?
much. Yes, let's end now. Thank you.
God bless.
Amen.
Precious Father in heaven, we just give you thanks, and we give you thanks for today. Lord, it's been so captivating. It's been so interesting. And we thank you, Father. You said my people perish for lack of knowledge. Lord, you have given us knowledge tonight. And Father, my prayer is that, Lord, through your Holy Spirit, we'll be able to process this information so that, Father God, it will bear good fruit in each of our lives in the name of Jesus. We'll lift up our sister whom you have used as a channel of blessing to us. That, Lord, even as she has used what you have given her, you will add more even unto her in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Father God, each and every one of us, we pray for enlightenment. We pray, Father, for wisdom to be able to appropriate and apply this information rightly in our lives in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Father, we just give you thanks for our sister Bumi that you have used also to facilitate this information. Tonight, Lord, will lift her up. And we ask that, Lord, you continue to lead her and guide her aright in the name of Jesus. Father, we give you thanks and we give you praise. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
For future events, if you want to get updates, please, yes, do fill in that. You can follow me as well on Instagram, Olubumi Away. You can follow me on Facebook, Olubumi Away as well. And yeah, please do follow Ronke. Like I said, Ronke, you've been fantastic. We appreciate you. We say thank you for coming on Pass the Baton. You're a guest once. Do join us every month as well. Feel free to join us. And for everyone who has been here first time as well, thank you so much for coming on board. We appreciate you. Have a good night rest, and we end here. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.